All right, it's a fumble over production. I gotta be honest, guys. Like, production for Ting is about 5 times more work than your average cast. So I am making a couple mistakes today, and my apologies for that. But we are back into it. It is, of course, a best of 5, fresh and brand new here in the losers match. And the winner of this will, well, get a chance to fight against somebody else, but the loser will sadly be out of the tournament forever. Hope you guys are enjoying the tournament so far. Of course, if you're a United States resident and you're tuning in, make sure to check out the sponsor of the event for the Ting Open, bttv.ting.com. And these guys are putting $5,000 towards StarCraft 2, and they want to do more in the future. And with your help, we can certainly make that happen. As if we can get 40 people in total by the time this is all said and done, they will give us another tournament in the future. More than 40 people means bigger money for the players. But we'll worry about that as time goes on. Just make sure to claim your $25 in credit and check out the sponsors. But it is the losers match. It's spawning here in the bottom left side from True Esports. It's Reynor.
In the top right, as the green Zerg, he is Mind's Entity's PengWin.
So, I think the bot is still down. I'm just going to leave it to you for a sec while I fiddle one last time.
Okay. So, Dusk Towers yet again with PengWin. Might go into a longer game. Reynor, I'm sure he knows the basics to dealing with Mutalisk. But they're obviously difficult to deal with always, and a lot of people aren't quite used to a Zerg that so often goes for 2-base Spire, although I'm not sure PengWin will be doing it on this map in particular. But Reynor and PengWin did used to be teammates, and just in general, a lot of people in Europe know PengWin's style. So I'm sure Reynor, maybe even at the end of that Fire Cake game, as he knew he had lost, was thinking, okay, I have to replace PengWin, how am I going to deal with that? Okay, this is how I'm going to do it. So whether that's by attacking him before he ever gets Mutas, which is a very legitimate strategy, or actually just trying to deal with Mutas, which is a little more difficult, I'm sure he's mentally prepared for it, regardless. He might have also seen the first series of the day, of course, because they were waiting for the next series, in which case you would have seen PengWin also throw out a couple of early pool builds. And, you know, PengWin does do that, so I'm sure he's aware of that too. For PengWin's side of the coin, I guess, knowing Reynor as well, okay. I'm not sure. I mean, he might realize that he has the +1 a lot, but I don't think that Reynor has that same, this is what Reynor does every single time, that PengWin has. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I think it's working. I can't. It's not staying connected. Is what's weird. I don't know what's causing it either, but hopefully, bot stays online. Reynor sneaking in, a bit of a cheeky thing, trying to hide in the corner. Doesn't quite work.
Ooh, they both go for a lair. So I guess there was a third alternative to dealing with PengWin's Mutalisk, which would be just making your own and going to Muta versus Muta every single time.
I would wonder how that goes. I mean, you were kind of talking about they used to be teammates, and do you know how PengWin plays or not? Because he did get broadcast in the first series today. But it's kind of funny because I gotta imagine with just something as simple as good luck have fun Stefan calling him by his first name, just that formality or like you or informality, excuse me, tells me that they know a good chunk about each other, or at least one way from Reynor.
I figure Reynor knows PengWin inside out for the most part, but on the flip side, I'm not so sure. Like, Reynor has showcased at least 3 different versions of ZvZ in the last series, so it's not going to be as easy to tell. But it's not going to be a Spire for Reynor. It's actually going to be a Roachborn. This might be a Nidus Room still, however. Like, it's Dusk Towers, so, okay, yeah, it's a Nidus Room. If you're going to go for Roaches, you might as well get that 3rd base, you know? And I do like the Nidus Room choice. So this is the second choice I brought up, I believe, or no, maybe the first one, which is to kill PengWin before he even gets to Mutalisk. Yeah. That might be a lot of this series.
That might be a lot of people think if PengWin, I mean, that's the scary thing. It's not just that PengWin is good at Mutas, it's a very good build, period, and you gotta stop it before it gets out of hand.
Yes. So the Nidus Room's gonna finish up. Now, the downside of doing a 2-base Nidus Room as opposed to like the 3-base we saw his last opponent do is that you don't have a lot of stuff coming from the Nidus Worm, you know? Like, it is fewer units, but it's hitting at a, you know, that time. And it's also so far been unseen. PengWin, seeing the lack of a third base, might think, oh, he's going for Mutas 2, and, like, was preparing to get Carapace, for instance. But now he sees what's actually up, and is going to get over here with Banelings, so this might not work.
Yeah, they'll go off the Nidus Worm immediately. Very gruesome death. Overlord, you're in the way. Shoot.
Yeah, and fortunately, well, actually, that's paying with a lot of minerals. Reynor can afford another Nidus Worm, but he is actually really strapped on gas, so he needs to hide this, and he doesn't.
Right, so I see, by the way, we got a lot of questions for Jesse in chat today, guys. I'll try and give a poke. Ooh. Okay, didn't quite... If all three had hit at the same time, that would have actually killed the Nidus Worm. But that 1 second delay in PengWin actually is going to really hurt, because now he really doesn't have the units he needs to defend with. And frankly, 8 mutas, while they are normally quite good, there's several queens. They'll be busy dancing with the queens instead of necessarily cleaning up the roaches.
The queens do have to protect the roaches, however. They're falling behind because you want the Nidus Worm to be a little bit closer. A second Nidus Worm is on the way, which will help spread creep too. The Banelings are all going to pop on. Oh, other Banelings and roaches. So the queens are still alive. They use up some of the transfuses to keep the Nidus Worm alive, but they still have a lot more. And this might just work for Reynor. I think it has.
Yeah, I actually, for like a small moment there for PengWin, you saw hope, but unfortunately, third base is going to go down. Now, it's still a drone lead for PengWin, and he is getting more mutants where this came from. If he kills the queens, he can hold on to what's left and maybe counter. Because Reynor is not much better off. There's no third base for Reynor either in this situation.
But his own Banelings. They do actually get targeted down by the mutas.
Transfuses are beating these mutas more than the queen's damage at this rate.
Yeah. The mutas are all going to go down here, and the queens are still alive. Reinforcements still spilling into Lings for Reynor, and of course the only option for PengWin. That's going to be it. GG. Alright, so obviously Reynor knows what's up. PengWin knows that at least he's willing to do something as extreme as 2-base Nidus to take him down.
Yeah. So I kind of started getting into this during the game. A lot of people with a lot of questions about Ting, specifically for Jesse. I know he's not here this morning, and he usually tends to pop in towards the latter half of a cast, because you guys have to understand, he actually works, believe it or not, right? Like, at a big company like Ting. So I've poked him to see if we can get him into chat to take some of your questions and answers, and hopefully he can stop by for like 10-15 minutes maybe. But okay, so my bad on the observing was terrible that game. Did not contribute much to the cast, but I think I'm done juggling everything outside of the game. So Reynor with a good start to the series.
Yes, indeed. We're going to all arena now for game number 2.
All right, we are getting back into action, and this time I've got things a little bit better situated on my end, and I'm less juggly, I suppose, this time around. We are, of course, in a best of 5. It's the losers match. Game number 2 underway, and in the bottom left side of the map, he's down 1 at the moment. It's my Insanity's PengWin.
The top left, as the pink Zerg, he is Reynor.
Taking advantage of the shorter rush distance on the map.
Hell yeah. Now, PengWin versus Solo was doing a lot of 1-base, speed, so very safe against like an early pool. Oh, he drone scouted. Oh, he's gonna use that for a spine crawler. I really hope he does. But this game, he goes for greed, like hatchery, then gas, and this drone scout might be a little tricky, Like, you might see that and be like, oh, obviously he's afraid that I was going to go for a pool first, and if he's going for a pool first, then obviously he wouldn't send a drone out, right? Because that's too many minerals.
So
I don't know if that's reaching, though.
This is actually a big deal, though. You watch any Zerg stream, you talk to any pro, they will all tell you, unanimously, without question, it's never worth it to drone scout. Any information you could get is not worth the actual loss of this drone mining. Now, as a non-Zerg player, I don't actually follow that logic, but the fact that they all consistently say this is one of those things where I just accept it. The thing that I find interesting, though, that might make it worthwhile on this map is because it is Orenda. There are cheesy builds. There's 1-base builds, and it's PengWin, for goodness sake. So you want to have eyes on what's going on.
Nicely done by PengWin. Throws down the hatchery with the excess minerals that would usually be going into, spine crawlers and queens. But she will need Probably.
I was wondering why he started running to the right, then realizing, yeah, the...
Wait, what?
So it looks like this might either be off by 1, or it's only big enough to block out bigger units, maybe?
Well,
No, that
is
doesn't
it like
make
is
sense.
it blocking diagonally and he actually can't get through? Because these units did derp out.
Maybe.
But the problem with that is that it's more surface area. So if that had actually blocked the choke, it would have taken a long time to tear down.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I think that was actually still a wall off. It just looked a little bit awkward because of the surface area. But you know what? It did buy PengWin enough time to get his lings out. So, a little bit expensive, but it was the difference of life and death. And PengWin, for now, is going to life. But with these banelings, might soon become death.
He's gonna death hard here, maybe. Now you do get a baneling nest. Oh, whoa, PengWin! I thought he was getting a baneling nest, and I guess I was reading Reynor, but oh my god, I thought he had one.
Nope.
Okay, well then that's probably game. The hatchery, if anything, was going to buy time for either spine crawlers or your baneling nest, but the baneling nest was so late, and he didn't bother with spine crawlers. That, huh?
Well, that fumbled, and will give Reynor a very nice lead now, 2-0 in the series. I'm not going to count PengWin out yet, though. I got faith in this guy, Zamario. But it really does feel like Reynor comes into this series knowing how PengWin plays and is trying to just capitalize on it. I mean, that wasn't even like a 12-13 gas. Ow. Oof. Ah, my wrist. Ah. Ooh, I just hit on the side of my desk.
I know. It's audible.
Son of a bitch! Don't be a hand talker, guys. Being a hand talker is fun until you do something like this. Ouch.
Like, just learn how to be a good hand talker.
It hurts. This is my mouse hand.
You were making a point.
I was, but I don't remember. It hurts so bad.
Do you want to go into detox, or?
It's like hitting... Oh, sorry, let me get in there. It's like hitting your funny bone, but like on your wrist. Damn it. Anyways, I was just gonna say, Reynor, he didn't do blind, 13 gas, 12, he's not doing anything that's super ridiculous. And that's what makes me think he might have PengWin's number, but Detox is a map, I guarantee you, there's no question in my mind, PengWin has played more on this map than Reynor.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna give him an edge here.
It's good to see. Looks like Jesse did make a small stop off in chat. So a lot of people were asking questions earlier, and I told you I couldn't answer for you for Ting, as I don't represent them, but Jesse actually does. So if you guys have questions, I know some people were asking about SIM cards and activating them and all that goodness. Jesse's the man to talk to, guys. You see him in there in chat, give him some love. Of course, this is, speaking of which, the Ting Open you're watching. We're in the losers match. And the loser, which could be decided here, will be knocked out of the tournament. Spawning in the top right side of Detox, it's going to be Tree Sports Reynor.
The bottom left as the green Zerg, he is my Insanity's PengWin.
Now, going back on this, it's not just that PengWin's played in several of our weekly cups or the Ting tournaments where he's played on Detox a lot before, but he actually used this in part of the Luck Fatter Maps tournament that he and Wardy had cast recently as well. Testing all the maps, and they've included some that one of the other lovely viewers tuning in today, Albatross, if you guys see her in chat, was a part of making some of those maps. So I know that PengWin's got a little bit more experience here, but in a mirror matchup, I don't know if that gives him an advantage. Is this a gun cache? That's random. Ghost sniper rifles? And then what's that? Is that a marine gun? That's too big to be a marine gun.
No, it's the marine guns that Reynor and Tychus use.
Tychus uses like a minigun though.
Yeah, Tychus uses a minigun. But it's one that Reynor uses, and all the marines and the cinematics.
But Reynor's a Zarg zombie gun. Infested Terrans. Alright.
It's his fault.
Some of the cool things we've seen, PengWin has done things like knock down the cooling towers and cut down some of the map. He knows how to use this map, but I have no idea if he can use this in a mirror matchup situation to his advantage. Either way, with the longer distances, there's a better chance that he gets to play the game he wants here.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing chat react to my hand smashing against the desk. It was like the bumpy part of your wrist, right? Like that bulge or whatever. Like that's the only part that connected to the desk. So it took like all of the shock, and it really hurts still. Wasted. Oh god. Yeah, someone could probably gift that into like a waste gift pretty easily.
So, PengWin's game, mostly including Mutalisk, would be very good on Detox as well. It's not actually that short. It does have some windiness to it, so you do have some time to mute it. And there's also a lot of dead space, a lot of room to maneuver around all of these bases, especially as you expand outward. In fact, I mean, it's like the bases actually aren't really that condensed, but only because there's so much like dead space in between. But they're still making like that triangle that you would want to consider the safer third base. But the fourth base is a gold. Usually, I don't know if we're actually going to get there though. Sometimes people do take the fourth base as a third because it's a gold, but that's a lot of lings that PengWin was stacking up. Reynor got a little bit of a glimpse already, and he's getting his own banelings soon.
And Overlord is going to be chased off. That's actually, he should be able to live. That's high ground, I think, right? Yeah, Queen can't continue chasing it. Reynor actually gets eyes on PengWin's lings. PengWin doesn't get them on Reynor. It's a bit awkward there. So Reynor's going to pick off 3 or 4 lings in the back for free. PengWin trying to get the same opportunity, but not being granted it.
Oh, okay, those were his banelings. Yeah, the baneling's still not done for Reynor. A Spine Cloud's going to come down. The drones have, I guess, well, there's just weren't any drones to begin with, but
he could have used this a little bit better.
Bad. Yeah, this isn't so bad for Reynor. His banelings are on the way now, and this should be okay. PengWin has a lot of money in the bank, though. He could go for a base here. He's actually going to go for a transport overlord, though. Get the Evo chamber.
Yeah, actually, PengWin was doing a lot of cool stuff like that earlier. I'm not sure if he'll get away with it here. He does need to get a good baneling hit, though. I mean, like, if he can get 1 or 2 solid hits, he will take a... Oh, that's a waste out of Reynor. That was a huge waste out of Reynor.
Yes, it was.
If PengWin can just get like a good solid hit or 2, he will snowball. That's the thing. That's what's so scary about this very delicate situation. Reynor, of course, doesn't want him to have this happen. It looks like PengWin does trade out 1 ling for a baneling on the other side of this. But I don't believe Reynor actually saw that sneaky overlord. So he is just going to sort of ferry over 4 banelings. And we'll see if he can get those magical hits that he was able to take versus solo.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no!
Oh, he was hoping for that really good
Both
hit.
players, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's a counterattack going off. I'm not sure if PengWin actually saw those lings slip by. He will need a couple of banelings at home because these lings rallied will not be enough. Now he's going to start heading up this direction. There's a couple trade-offs here. There's a spine crawler there, but none of this is super important in comparison to these 4 banelings. Getting to the mineral line. 12 workers go down, kabloom.
Okay, but mind you, that just evens everything up.
Yes, and well, he needed
Reynor
it to
had a
even
lead.
up, though. If he didn't, this game was going to be so far beyond over.
Yeah,
PengWin droning right now. Oh no, the queen's out of position too.
Yeah, so this is what the problem with that counterattack you're talking about.
It's funny because I guess he doesn't have enough drones to pull them away.
Yeah, so the queen gets in a decent position, but she is still going to go down. The lings in the main are starting to get more damage done, and it did pull all of the lings back, so Reynor can finally take a breath. They killed 4 drones and a queen. Not the best use of all of those lings.
No, but Reynor did drone, so he is ahead, and he is going to stay about 9 workers up at the time being. PengWin's going to put all that larva into droning himself, and we'll bridge that gap a little bit, but I would love to see him try and get some more sneaky attacks off if he could pull them off. But truth be told, he does have to focus at home. If he loses much more, he will start falling further and further behind.
Now, this is interesting. We've been seeing so much +1 melee in Legacy of the Void, but +1 Carapace used to be the thing to do if you got an early Evo chamber. It will make everything you get stronger, because everything benefits from Carapace, but it will also, and more importantly... Shut up. Make them be able to take a baneling hit, so they actually need 2 banelings for a ling. He is going to go into Aspire again, so it makes sense to be upgrading your lings and focusing on your lings and what they can do on the ground. But Reynor has taken a nice lead despite that baneling hit, and is looking okay to go into the rest of the game, but I am worried. I'm worried that the Aspire is going to be too good on this map.
Oh, well that's... Oh, again... No! What the fuck, PengWin, are you doing?
You know, I feel like he really... So he tweeted after his loss versus Solo that he think he didn't play very well, despite having a 3-2 score. He might not be in a great state of mind, and it's going down since the last 2 losses.
Well, he's still nowhere close to out of the game. Like, I actually really enjoy PengWin's position, despite the fact he's down in supply. If you can get a good hit or 2, let's not forget Carapace means ling versus ling. He wins. Banelings he can actually take a hit from his opponent, but he needs to get something out in the field, because right now, There we go. Some links do come out. Oh, good thing you got that carapace! Son of a bitch.
Reynor is following this attack up with roaches. Now, remember that the path is not so linear on Detox. These slow roaches would take a while to get over here. But PengWin has to defend. He has to defend so hard, in fact, that he's not even getting a Spire despite getting the lair, which is a big problem, as that's usually the timer for Reynor. But that was not a cancel.
And that was a straight-up kill.
PengWin's starting to fall apart.
Still, this is where, unfortunately, the carapace won't benefit him that much. As the roaches come across the map, he's not going to have that +1 melee to tear them down. In fairness, though, I mean, the roaches also don't have carapace themselves, so if PengWin can get us around, he will eventually deal with them. But holy schmeckle, that's a lot of banelings finishing up.
You need 2 banelings for every ling, then I make twice the banelings.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst mentality. PengWin's going to see a hint of this. I'm not sure this third base is worth trying to get up at this point. Because he could still 2-base the Spire behind it, yeah. Yeah,
if he had not gone for the third in the first place, his Spire would already be done. Like, Midas may have even been out. Taking off some of these banelings. But yeah, the clump does take more banelings to do that. But he definitely had enough banelings, and yet again, he has enough banelings. So this is all questionable by PengWin.
I mean, the banelings are pretty much gone, so a Ling Flood coming out, I don't know if it'll be enough to get us around on the roaches. He's got to, though, because if he doesn't, then it's all over here before he even sees his first Muta. He's got about 700, 800 get banked up. Like, he's really trying not to, because he wants to be able to make those Mutas. But you know what? All these Lings are eating up all of his larvae, and PengWin might just die with a bank. GG. Reynor gonna 3-0 PengWin and send him out of the group. A little bit heartbreaking, because PengWin is, I think, very close friend of the channel, so sad to see him go down like that. But we do wish him all the best of luck in other games he may play today. Reynor, however, was not expecting this out of him at all. 3-0 is damn impressive.
Yep. It looked like he knew his former teammates pretty well. And took advantage of it.
Yeah. Well, that'll send him forward a little bit further here in these brackets, but he's still not totally safe because he will have to fight the loser of Firecake versus Solo. We're going to have that ZvZ start up here in a second. We are going to get into some more commercial breaks, though, on behalf of our sponsors. Again, shout-outs to Jesse. He's in chat. He's taken a lot of your questions. I know that in the past, a comment was brought up about this, and I'm not sure if we've had the same issue since, but if any of you guys have been bold enough to try Ting and swapping to it, but you didn't go through our link, you didn't claim that $25 in credit from that promo code, what's kind of cool is he has offered to retroactively apply that to anybody who missed out on it. So let's say you did decide to try Ting, but you didn't do it through bttv.ting.com. You can actually contact Jesse and get it set up so that you'll get credit for it, we'll get credit for it, and you'll get your $25 in credit, which will certainly help with that first bill. But I've talked a little bit about Ting and its coverage today. We showed you guys the cool smartphone that we are raffling off and giving away. And reminder, again, tweet at TingFTW, hashtag TingOpen, and ask them any question your heart desires. You might make it into the AMA video, and you will certainly have a chance to win a smartphone if you do so. That being said, I want to talk about their ad rates because that will be the ad we play next coming up. Ting doesn't use plans, for those who don't know. They use rates. So the TLDR of this is if you pay for what you use. So if you use less, you pay less. Well, Ting isn't always the best option for super data heavy users, and of course, they won't tell you to swap to them if you're better off with what you have, which is what makes them really respectable in my opinion. But you still might be using a lot of cellular data in other areas that you don't actually need to. Many viewers might be thinking, oh, well, I have an unlimited plan, so it wouldn't make sense for me to switch. And again, if you don't want to switch, you don't have to. But Ting offers you the option of saving some money without affecting your smartphone experience whatsoever. So they're definitely worth checking out, guys. One last time, bttv.ting.com. But we're going to go to some ads. We'll have you learn specifically about how their rates work. And we'll be back with Firecake versus Solo in the winner's bracket. They're doing vetoes as we speak.